Hi everyone, welcome to Code Worms. So today we're going to be doing a very simple problem, and this problem is basically a palindrome number. Now what exactly is a palindrome number? A palindrome number is if a number, you reverse this particular number, it gives you the same number. So if you read it from the front and if you read it from the back, it's the same number, right? Now, let us look into a palindromic number. So this is a code which I have already written. We'll look into this later. So very important about a palindromic number is when we're going to solve this, it is very important to know the concept of digit extraction, right? So what is exactly digit extraction? Suppose my number x is say 1, 2, 3, right? I want to extract a digit. I want each digits of the number 1, 2, 3. That is 1, 2, and 3. So I have say an int d which will store my digit, and I do x mod 10. Right now, what exactly is this mod 10 sign? This mod 10 sign here basically divides x by 10 and gives me the remainder. So if I divide x by 10, I get 120 and my remainder is 3. So my d here will have 3. Now what I have to do is I have to divide x by 10. Now if I divide x by 10, what happens is my x now becomes 12, right? So next time if I again do x mod 10, my d, that is, will give me 2, right? So how many times will this process of extraction need to go on? This process will go on for, say, till x is equal to 0, right? Because when x is equal to 0, we know that all the digits are extracted. But now what they are asking us to do is they are asking us to store the number in the reverse order, right? So now that we've extracted the last digit, what we do is we take a sum, right? And we multiply that by 10 and then we add the d, right? So if my sum is say equal to 0, then my d here will, first time if we go through the loop and my sum is equal to 0, my d here is 3. My sum here is 0 into 10, that is 0 plus d, so that is 3. My x becomes 12. Next time round, this is 2 because my x is 12 and my sum was 3, right? So this becomes 3 into 10, which is 30 plus 2, so 32. And my x becomes 1. Next time round, because x is still greater than 0, this is 1. My sum is 32 into 10, so 320 plus d, so that is 321, and my x becomes 0. So this is when the loop stops executing. Now, what were we talking about the palindrome number? If we read it from the front and if we read it from the back, it is the same thing, right? So we need to keep another number, int y, which is equal to x, right? So when we return the number, return, what we basically do, we return x equal to y. Oh, I'm so sorry, x is 0, sum is equal to y. This is my entire program. So let us just run this and see what we get. Right? We already have our x, we have int y, int sum, int d. Have I not initialized something? I think I have. Let's run the code. Right, it's accepted. I submit it and it is perfect. But when we do this, this is extremely fast. So this is one method of doing the palindrome. We just reverse the entire number. We divide it by 10 and we get our answer. Now, to understand palindromic numbers better, basically, is suppose, let us delete this portion. our number is 1, 2, 1. If it's an odd length, we see that if we have 2 in the middle, then 1 on both sides will be the same, right? Similarly, if we have 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, if my 3 is in the middle, then both the 2's on both the sides and both the 1's has to be same. So basically, if we fold this number from half, then it has to be identical. If we have an even number, then if we fold it into half, then we have identical numbers. This is also palindrome, right? So what we've done here is using the previous concept, instead of traversing the entire number and reversing the entire number, what we've basically done is we have made rev which is equal to 0. Oh, so before that, x needs to be lesser than 0, right? Because in our description, what do we see? That if it's a negative number, then obviously it's going to be false. So if it's a negative number, there is no requirement for us to go into the program and find out its reverse, right? That wastes time. So what we do is we check if x is less than 0, or if x mod 10 is equal to 0 and x is not equal to 0. So like suppose the number is 10, right? So if the number is 10, x mod 10 will give me a 0, but x is not 0. So this kind of numbers are also not palindromic. So for such cases, we don't have to check. So we return false anyway. Then what we're doing is int rev is equal to 0, right? So if int rev is equal to 0, then x here we check. Now let us dry run this, okay? Simply dry run this because you already know the digit extraction conception. So x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, right? What is rev? Rev here is equal to 0. And then we are checking if x is greater than rev. Yes, x is greater than rev, right? So what we're doing is we're extracting the digit from x and we're storing it in rev. So x is 0. What is rev now? Rev into 10, that is 0 into 10 plus x mod 10, that is 1, right? So my rev basically has 1 and my x here has 1, 2, 3, 2, correct? Again, if we go through the loop, this time we'll do it slightly a bit faster. My rev here will have 1, 2, and my x here will have 1, 2, 3, correct? X is still greater, right? So rev becomes 3, 2, 1. I am so sorry. Here it is going to be, yeah, no. Rev will become 1, 2, 3, right? And my x will become 1, 2. Now this is where x is less than rev. So what we've basically done is we have partitioned this number x into two parts such that the first half of the number remains in x, and the second half of the number is reversed and stored in another number, which is rev, right? So now what we're essentially returning is making sure that we have both the concepts in mind. That is rev, which is we have both the conceptions in mind, that is the odd length and the even length. So x is equal to rev, right? So in this case, if it was an odd number, even length palindrome, then this case would have been true, because on both sides, suppose x is equal to 1, 2, 2, 1. So on both sides, it will have even number of numbers, right? So if we fold it from half, it will give me exactly identical match. But if it's an odd number, there will be one number in the middle which will not have a pair, right? Because we're supposed to fold it from that number. Suppose 1, 2, 3 to 1. 3 doesn't have an identical mirror to it. But even 3 is a palindromic number. Hence, if we say x is equal to rev by 10. So if I do rev by 10, my rev here is what? My rev here is 1, 2. That is, I am excluding the middle number and then I'm checking with x. Then this number comes to be true. Hence, this code will also run. We are not traversing the entire x what we're only doing is we're just going up till half of it, and we're dividing the x into two such parts so that they are identical in nature. Let us run this. And so I hope you've liked this video. I have tried to explain a very simple concept to you in two different ways. Keep tuned to Code Worms to get more such videos.